Guys and dolls, Freedom Dad here on a cold, windy Saturday, and we're just at the waterfall. Got Bailey over there, and I've got Tulip right here. But bit of rain last night, guys. But let's move on. Let's get these dogs walked. No matter what the weather, still got to walk these girls. And just going to get Tulip off the lead just shortly once I get out of public. So I hope you're all doing good. Saturday morning, and come on, guys, come on. And yeah, very, very windy. I hope you're all okay. I've got friends in Ireland that are struggling right now. Lots of electricity. Thousands and thousands of people suffering right now with no electricity, and it's a really bad time because it's cold, you know. So my heart goes out to them, and we'll all just say a wee prayer and make sure everybody's safe in Britain and in Ireland as the storm passes by. But all good. Baby's good. I'm good. Mum's doing amazing. And yeah, just enjoying being a dad. And not that I've got that much to do. Yeah, I'll be honest, like, you know, I feel like I feel pretty useless, you know. I do my bit, but I also don't want to steal the thunder, you know. Katie's done all the work. She carried wee Lucky, and she gave birth to wee Lucky, and she's breastfeeding wee Lucky, you know. I have done nothing, you know what I mean? So I think it's important that wee Lucky and Mum bond, you know. And I just never want to take Lucky away, you know. Even just, obviously I do. She like, you know what I mean? I do my bit, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I don't want to, you know. I want Katie to have as much of wee Lucky and enjoy it as much as she possibly can, you know. Our biggest fear is the baby growing, and yeah, I totally get that. You know, I want the baby to grow. She doesn't. You know what I mean? I just want the baby to get big and healthy and strong, and you know, and but that's totally understandable, both accounts. So I'm just going to let Tulip off. Come here, my girl. Right. Anyway, so I'm going to bring a wee video later. Just going to do a wee chit chat. Then so just going to bring a wee video just to carry on with Nigel. And come on, guys, this way. Just with the question time. Well, it was pretty good, pretty impressed, you know. Credit where credit's due, you know what I mean? Definitely 100%. Said all the right things, you know. A couple of things he never said he should have said, but you know, I don't understand why he's never mentioned Peter Lynch. Or has he? Am I mistaken? I don't know. Maybe I'm mistaken. Clear out in the comments, I'm sure. So yeah, but I'm pretty good with what I've seen in question time. You know, there's a lot to take from it. No, from Nigel, from the rest sitting in the room, you know. And I'll maybe touch on it. So I will. And big up the audience. Big up the woman. Just said what the rest of us are thinking, you know. Let's be honest, and this is the thing, guys, you know, the media and the government are doing everything they can to stop people like that talking to you, because you don't understand. This is the general feeling of the public, you know. And the problem is that we're not getting a chance, you know what I mean? Come on, guys, no. Nobody's getting a chance. We're being silenced 110%. Our communities are being silenced, but every now and again one gets through, you know. And one got through last night, and she's right, you know. Alistair Campbell going to you. So you can see the way he was trying to trip up one of our, like a member of the public, you know. Who does he think he is, that guy? You know, going on, oh, so what do you think about the war? What war? You know, how many people are coming in this country that aren't coming from war-torn countries? You know, how many Ukrainian women and children have we seen coming over on boats? Come on, man. You know, like, I know there's plenty of Ukrainians coming in, like, I do know that. And yeah, fair play, you know what I mean? Definitely. There's 110% got absolutely no problems with bringing these women over that have most likely lost their men. Remember that, these Ukrainian women. Children have lost their dads. And there's not one part of my body concerns me with these people coming over here and even going on benefits and getting adult disability because they need all the help they can get, you know. And never once would I ever doubt what any person's been through, believe you me. But the problem is, that's not what's happening, you know. The problem is, it's quite a lot of really bad men who are saying a lot of bad things, you know, and we know that there's a lot of stuff going on in the background, like men getting released from prisons and certain governments sending certain characters over. We've got spies coming in, we've got jihadis coming in, we've got Iranians coming in, Chinese, Russian, you know, because believe you me, these countries, they'll have people in their countries that are Russian, just like we have in this country that are British, like Mayor Tussey and, you know, other people that been born and bred here, love Britain, but their mothers, fathers, granny, granddads, whatever, were born somewhere else, on totally different traditional culture, all the rest of it. But they live in Britain, they love Britain, you know. I would almost say as they're more British than some British guys, you know what I mean? Because they're so passionate. I think maybe because they're born, like they don't feel like they're British, like because of their heritage, they maybe have to overdo it, which is, I understand, totally get that, you know. But what I'm trying to say is, come on, Tulip. Come on, Bailey. Bailey, leave. Come on. Yeah, what I'm trying to say is that Russia and China and Iran and all these places will have people just like that in their countries. They will have people from foreign families, mothers and fathers and all the rest of it, probably from Syria, Iraq, fucking Africa, wherever, you know what I mean? And they will exploit them guys and they will send them over here as immigrants from their native country where their parents probably came from. And they will act just like that and they will be spies for Russia, China or Iran. And there won't be anybody in Iran who will be able to tell you that they aren't. You know what I mean? There's no way you're ever going to prove it unless you've got intel or something like that. You know what I mean? They've got a leak. So it's quite serious. Quite serious stuff. We're not talking about Ukrainian women and children fleeing a war torn. This is, you know, but it just shows you, doesn't it, exactly how it works and how they work. You know, did you see them shaking their heads whenever Nigel said about the 2-tier? Now, I imagine everybody watching that, and I didn't watch it, obviously, I just watched some clips because I don't watch normal TV. And, you know, I can imagine everybody watching it would have been shaking their heads going, what? You know, what are you talking about? There's 2-tier everywhere. It's not just 2-tier in the justice system, jeez, oh man. So, yeah, it's very strange how the obvious doesn't want to be spoke about, you know, and that's what concerns me. This is what I've been saying in my videos from day one, guys. I've been saying this from day one. It's not what they're saying that worries me, it's what they're not saying, you know. It's always been the case. And like, it scares me because they're going so hard on keeping everything quiet, keeping the figures, not giving us figures. Then giving us figures and we know that they're not the right figures. I know in my heart, right, and I know in my heart that there is a hell of a lot more people coming into this country than what we're being told. And if you think 1 million in a year up to July, right, it's not counting from July to now, that's just last year up to July, right, hitting 1 million. If you think that figure is bang on the nose, you know, I think we just know the way society is, the way human beings are, how we deal with things, how we exaggerate numbers and de-exaggerate numbers and stuff like that. We just know, you know, fucking part of our culture. And yeah, so basically stuff like Question Time is good to watch because it's good to see. You know, it's like saying it gets dark at the end of the night and everybody around you going, what? you talking about? You know, like it's dark at the end of the day. What? Unless you live in certain places. I know some places have daylight, or North Pole or South Pole, I'm not sure what one it is. But yeah, that's what it feels like to us right now. Every time anybody goes on telly, you know. And yes, Farage is the only one that's saying anything close to that's getting a chance to go on telly. Because you got to remember, he's been invited on there, you know. There's the BBC decide who they bring on, you know. Obviously, they've stopped Farage going on for so long now, and because so many people are going towards reform, then yeah, they don't have much choice, you know what I mean? But it's going to be very interesting because there's going to be more and more of these interviews coming up in the following year. And it's going to be very, very interesting to hear what they're not saying, you know. And I just believe that anybody that's on our TV isn't going to be hearing what we want to hear. They're not going to be telling anything, saying anything that we need to hear. They put the concerns down of the grandmothers and the grandfathers and fathers and mothers in this country, you know. They put them at ease. They let them feel when they pass their children are going to be safe and they're going to enjoy the freedoms and the values of this country as we did growing up. You know, playing in the street, playing out with the park, getting chased because it's getting dark, get in before the lights come on, you know. Being free to say and do whatever you like as long as you're not hurting anybody else, but being able to make mistakes, you know. And yeah, times have changed, you know. Unlike Sadiq Khan says, it's all part and parcel of living in a big city, is it? So basically it's all part and parcel of living in a country that's getting overrun with immigration. That's basically what they're going to be saying. Everything that you've lost, everything that you hold dear that you no longer have or is safe to do any longer in this country is basically all part and parcel of living in a society that's taking in immigration. And that's the bottom line. And I think we're probably best getting used to that, you know. And I imagine quite a lot of people will be, they can see the way I see, will probably be thinking about leaving, you know, and finding somewhere safer to live, somewhere where their values are held, and stuff like that, yeah. You know, we know ourselves, you know, you've seen enough videos online to see the way the police react towards us and towards others. There's enough evidence for them to sit there and shake their heads from side to side is embarrassing, because the whole country is online witnessing what's truly going on in the world, in this country, and they can shake their heads however much they want. So it's like, chill up, what are you doing? Come here you, come here. Want to fight? Come on then, let's go. Go on, Bailey. Leave, Bailey. Leave the stick. Bailey. Oh, she's not listening to me today. So, 2 seconds, guys. So, yeah. Basically, like, I think it's embarrassing. So, they can embarrassingly, in front of the nation, deny the obvious on TV, on their BBC, because that's what the BBC want. Dare you say anything against the truth that's going on? Dare you speak about Tommy Robinson? That's something I need to bring up. I need to get this out of the way, you know? And I'm going to put this out there for any other YouTubers that are right-wing, okay? And, you know, centrist, whatever, you know what I mean? Tell me this, and tell me no more. Why is it that we're all sort of in agreement that Nigel Farage cannot support Tommy, or Nigel Farage cannot get behind Tommy, or Nigel Farage cannot dare speak Tommy's name? Can somebody explain to me why? Because that would be interesting to hear. And because I am a Tommy Robinson supporter, right, and my heart breaks for the guy, what he's been through. It breaks my heart what his family's been through, what I've witnessed, how the government with the far left, Hope Not Hate, Antifa, have worked together to persecute a young man, a young working class man in our society. It's went on for over 15 years, right? Now, we all know he's wrote books. He walks about with a camera, right? We all know he's not a racist. We all know he's not far right. We all know that he's had nothing to do with EDL for nearly 15 years, right? We know everything about Tommy Robinson. So when I say I support Tommy Robinson, you got to understand this, right? I've been around a wee while, been around so many different people from all different walks of life, and I've had some serious mental mad experiences, honestly, like just crazy experiences, right? So I have been in a lot of situations a lot of people haven't been in, and I've learned a lot about me, and I've learned a lot about other people, so I have. And I can honestly say, with my hand on my heart, that if I support somebody, the only thing that I've got in my mind is how my daughter will look at me in 20, 30 years' time. When she looks back on her dad, how will she think, you know? And when she does look back, she's going to know I was an advocate, supporter, whatever the word is, massive supporter of Tommy Robinson. When everybody else was like calling him a racist and far right, I was still there, pushing it out, asking people to prove it, asking people to research it, telling people you're being lied to, telling people, I promise you, I've looked into it, I really have studied it, I've been researching it, I've followed them for 15 years. I've explained, because I got out of prison, I had never seen the internet, boom, get out of prison, there's the internet, YouTube, wow. Tommy Robinson was starting his thing at the time, and that's all it was. I followed him from the start. And I'm proud to say that I'm a follower of Tommy Robinson. I'm proud to say that I support Tommy Robinson in everything he does. The sad side of it is because of who I am, because of my background. I can't really get too much involved because I wouldn't want to give anybody anything to do against them because of me, because of my background in Northern Ireland and the amount of prison I've done. That's the sad thing about it all. But we move on. Part of the videos that I do is to try and explain that so my daughter understands who I am. Because there's a lot down in paper that is lies about me. And there's a lot down in paper also that like the bank robbery's not. Yes, I know. But I've explained that, you know. If I would have been brought up anywhere else, I would never have been a bank robber. That's for sure. I had to give them a wee bit of education. Told once that you're not a bad person. Freedom Dad. Once at any time during my young life, you're not a bad person. You can be good. You can do good things. You're an intelligent guy. You can do this. You can, you know, just point me in the right direction of how to behave. If just one person had done that, my life would have been different. But it didn't. It did. All I got was violence a whole way through my life. 3 children's homes, 3 prisons, prison officers, police officers, violence. But that's neither here nor there. I'm here. I've dealt with it. I'm a bigger man. You know, they'll have their own cross to bear. They'll be judged themselves one day. I'm proud of who I am. I've made mistakes. I've made my peace with God. That's all that matters to me. But the point I'm trying to make is, you know, somebody needs to explain to me properly, because everybody seems to be saying this, but they're not explaining it. Why is it okay for Nigel Farage not to mention Tommy Robinson? Surely Nigel Farage could come out just like me and research it and look at it and go, hold on a wee minute, this is not right. And you'd be one of the biggest men in my eyes for him to come out and to man up and be honest for once and see what everybody in the world is saying of Tommy Robinson, Stephen, Laxley, Lennon, and just be a man and say, you know what, this man has been persecuted. This man isn't a racist. He isn't far right. This man has been multicultural all his life. He's had black friends. He's had Pakistani friends. He's had friends from every part of the world at every stage of his life. There's not one person that knows him around him thinks he's a racist. And that's the people that judge people the best, the people around these people, not multimedias and certainly not politicians that have never left their mansions, never stepped foot in the working class area, never stepped foot in Rotherham, Rochdale, Birmingham, Bradford, Halifax. Has no clue what it's like on the streets for our working class kids and their kids, because there's a ripple effect. There's so many people get affected, you know. Open your eyes, Nigel. You know, Look at the room. Read the room. You know. He's throwing Tommy under the bus because you're scared. That tells us that you've got somebody to be scared of. Now, just because the rest of the population can't see that right now, they will one day. And that's what makes me quite content, because they'll look back in these videos and they'll go, Freedom Dad was bang on. I pray to God, I hope I'm not bang on. But there's a couple of things that stand out to me that nobody can explain. One, why does he not only badmouth Tommy Robinson, but why does he not just support the man? There's nothing wrong with supporting Tommy Robinson. It will not do him any harm. It will do him more good. If he's intelligent enough to be able to come out and explain the whole situation to the people of Great Britain, because not one person in power or with the backing that any like Nigel has ever done that for Tommy. It's only people with 100,000 viewers here, 100,000 viewers or maybe 900,000 viewers here and there that support Tommy. All around the world. All right, there's big ones in America and all the rest of it, but I'm talking about Britain. You know? So somebody explained to me, in layman's terms, not just for me, but for my followers and for everybody that thinks like me and can't understand why Nigel Farage can't just support Tommy Robinson. Somebody has to explain that to me, because I don't understand it. And then maybe if I understood it, then I could explain that to my followers that can't understand it, and like would all sleep a wee bit better, because nothing's making any sense. A lot of you are feeling quite frightened, you know. How do you explain it? It's not when you know you're with a group of mates and you've got this one mate that's quite chirpy and on the ball and, you know, I mean, gift of the gab, but you know some secrets about him. You know deep down he's a bad man, but nobody else can see it because he's so smart and so quick and he makes everybody laugh, and you just sit and watch it. That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like right now. And the other thing is, why can't he mention Peter Lynch's name? That doesn't make any sense. I'm not going to go on and on because it will upset me, because I'm a bit emotional today for some reason. I don't know what it is. But yeah, it doesn't make any sense. And that's where I come from. My whole point of view about Nigel Farage and Reform is the way they behave towards Tommy. And if I'm proud enough to talk about Tommy Robinson to my daughter, and know my daughter look back at me and be proud of who I was because I supported Tommy Robinson, something else is going on then. And you can't tell me that I'm wrong. You really can't, unless you can bring something to the table and explain things to me. Because I'm sick of hearing it, oh, he's got to go this way, he's got to do this that way. I think when the people really understand the truth of what's happened to Tommy Robinson, I think they'll pretty much understand, and they'll pretty much thank Nigel for bringing the truth, for having the wool pulled over their eyes, by being lied by the establishment for so long. Can you imagine how most of the public are going to feel when they actually find out the truth that we know about Tommy? Because it is going to happen one day. Somebody's going to do it. Somebody's going to stand up there at that podium and say, listen, what you know about Tommy Robinson is all lies. The government have lied to you. The government have used bad, dirty tricks and worked with dangerous and horrible people in this country to persecute that man, his wife and his children. And then they use terrorist charges against him. Say no more. If Nigel Farage cannot speak up against a man that's went through that much, then basically he's not getting my support, because at the end of the day, I know it doesn't matter if he gets my support, I'm just talking to my followers, you know what I mean? People that's been on my journey with me for the last 4 months, you know, and basically it's as simple as that, you know what I mean? If you cannot step away from the establishment and grab the bull by the horns and read the room, read the country, then there's something else going on. Something else going on. You're just on the, you're taking a backhander, you're being controlled by somebody, you're afraid of somebody, and if you're afraid of somebody, then it's probably the same person Starmer's afraid of, the Bidens are afraid of, and Macron's afraid of, and we know what direction that's going to go. There's no two ways about it. Nigel Farage needs to start speaking up about things that really matter to us in this country and stop fluting about. You know, that's all I'm saying. 100%. I might vote for Reform. You know, I'm not saying I'm not going to vote for Reform. I'm not telling anybody to vote for anybody. You know, I'm telling you just what I'm seeing, what people are saying to me. I'm just reporting the pulse of my community and what's going on around me, and people that I phone in Ireland, England, and around me in Scotland. And like, that's all I do, you know. I promise you, like, it's not a personal vendetta, it's nothing like that. Like I say, I could possibly vote reform one day if things changed, and you know, there need to be big changes, you know what I mean? But I have not got a clue who to vote for. I really don't, you know. But I am paying attention to all parties right now, and that's what we all should be doing. We should all be paying attention to all parties, you know. For too long we've done this to ourselves, you know what I mean? Get led astray and, you know, told to go a direction, and then we find out it's the wrong direction, and then somebody comes up with better ideas and new plans, and then we vote for them, and then we turn out it's just still ideas. And then the very worst one is this Labour. They actually blatantly lied over and over again that they were going to do one thing and then done another thing, and now we can't get them in a government. Nigel Farage should be demanding a re-election. He should be demanding that criminal charges should be, but you can't lie. There has to be laws in this country, especially when it comes to politicians. If we can't get away with blue murder, surely they should be able to get away with blue murder. And some of the things that they're doing in this country is quite criminal. There's no two ways about it. There's people suffering because of the actions of the politicians in this country. There's children and women that are suffering in this country because of actions of politicians. And they're totally aware of what they're doing. They know there's evidence all around the world. It's not like this has just happened, you know. Nah, I need to go. Got a runny nose. It's really, really cold. And I'm getting really frustrated. But listen, guys, all I want is somebody to explain to me exactly why Nigel Farage cannot just be honest and open and just say it as it is. That's all it is, guys. All my love. Have a great Saturday, and God bless every single one of you.